Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Dead Space Impossible mode, no damage plus restricted run. This is chapter 10, End of Days, and this is one of the most frustrating rooms in the game. So previously in the video, I mentioned that whenever you stand on that biological material, it removes the mouse fix and it puts on a bunch of mouse acceleration. Well, this is the only room in the game where you have to fight something or you have to engage with a monster where this is present. And if you follow the path I'm going to give you here, guys, it won't affect you too badly, but if you see the mouse going all weird, it's because this feels awful. And if you've never felt this room and you want to, I recommend you do so, because I can't describe how bad it feels. I just can't. I have many words. My lexicon is expansive and verbose, but I do not have the capacity to tell you how fucking awful this feeling is. It's the strangest thing. It's just bizarre. And I had to grip my teeth this entire time I'm moving on it. And not only does it affect your mobility, but it also affects your sanity, because I don't know anybody that can think that feels good. And if you do think that feels good, you might be Jesus 2.0. But when you leave that room, there is a guardian with its children, and there's an enhanced slasher here. And this room is kind of frustrating because I don't have a lot of ammunition and there's a lot of shit to shoot. And none of it is particularly interesting, and it would be really nice if you could just ignore the guardians and skip them, but you can't, because they instantly kill you. So I have to engage with this even though I really don't want to. And like, look at this guy. I can't help but feel like if we could play as that dude, this game would be so much simpler and just... We'd do it in like 2 hours, right? We'd just kill everybody. But the problem with this particular room is there doesn't seem to be an explosive to inherit and bring in here to get rid of this. And this thing's put out 1 million of those little shits. And these little shits each take 1 to 2 shots each to kill. And I can throw a bunch of stuff at them, but that's going to risk getting hit and it's going to take a while. And I'm in a bit of a boggle, to say the least. It's a perplexing instance because I don't have much ammo and I want to keep as much as I can. And right then is the healthiest my ammo's been for a while. And I do not want to get back to that situation I was in with the Leviathan where it really, really railed me. So I'm thinking right now the best thing I can do to circumvent this. So I'm going to throw this 2 times at the tentacles and kill them. And then I'm going to move forward, I'm going to do the same thing, but because it gets quite ambiguous at what eyes it picks up, and because detection's kind of awkward, I need to get closer to make this viable. And it gets to the point where I get so bored of doing this that I just end up shooting a bunch of them, but fundamentally, you can do this and get rid of all of them if you want to. But one of the things I always adhere to in anything that I do is that if I'm not enjoying it, I don't want to do it, you know? Unless I'm being paid, I tend to not do it. Because this is meant to be for fun, and this is not the fun part of any challenge run. And if this was Dead Space 2, this would be absolutely fine. I don't know how I got in there actually, but I did. And I was hoping in here there was going to be an explosive to save me from this terrible sequence. But the only thing I can find is that weird bin, or whatever that is. I think it's some kind of like biohazard bin. So I'm going to try and take out a couple more of these guys. But it's very easy to get hit here just because of the perspective. And these enemies are very accurate. And I'm picking up everything but what I want. It just leads to some tedium and frustration, so... You can also see some lights on the walls there, that looks interesting. I wonder what that is. Maybe they're like ammo caches I didn't find. But you can tell I'm frustrated because I don't really know what to do and I don't want to waste my ammo. Usually when I play, you'll see a very decisive player doing what needs to be done, but in this circumstance, that's not what you're seeing. So this is when the gun comes out and I'm just like, okay, fuck this is fucking stupid. And don't go into them either right now or they'll blow up. And in many ways, what they drop does pay for what I used, but I was really being fastidious when it came to ammunition because I was kind of sick of not having any ammo. But grab everything that you can, slap the Guardian obligatorily, which is probably not a word, and then this is it, guys. So, full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, I am using a cheat engine right now to increase my damage on this sequence. In order to do this legitimately, you have to shoot this tentacle 20 plus times, and I didn't want to waste the bullets because I thought it was going to end the run. So instead, you'll notice there's a star in the top right corner. This sequence, I put on a trainer that doubles your damage, and it enabled me to get through there and save some of my ammunition. So if you were looking for the run to be complete, 100% legitimate, that was the first place where this run ended. And I didn't count it personally because it's a cutscene and it's unavoidable. No matter what you do, it does that. However, doing that sequence is by far one of the hardest parts of the game because you have to be perfect. It is a very difficult tentacle to cut. But moving on, we move into this room, and this room is another room with tons of enemies, and when you don't have a lot of ammo, it gets really, really tricky. So I'm going to run around this corner, I'm going to pick up the item here, and then I'm going to run past the pregnant, and there's a twitcher that spawns, and he's always a pain in the ass, this guy. You need to stun him enough to stop him doing things. I take his leg, I hit this door, I shoot the pregnant, I get past the female necromorph, and then I hope that nobody hits me from behind. That right there that you just saw, guys, it looked easy, didn't it? That took me about 10 attempts because that room is so dynamic. And then when you come in here, they do a bit of a stinger there to scare you with the exploder, but it's all fake news. So just keep on moving forward and seeing what you find. This is definitely where the run starts, and this room is bad for sensitivity as well. It's just, I don't even touch my mouse in this room. It's the worst. Like, it just feels so wrong. And then you can see to the side there we have a splitter as well. But the exploder helps us kill the splitter, so it's not a big deal. But you can see my movement here of my camera. Have you ever seen my camera like wiggle like this? It doesn't usually do that. Like, my camera does move erratically sometimes because I'm moving it quickly. And you're not used to it potentially. But I never move like that. And then in this room there is a bunch of enhanced lurkers, and I'm going to skip them completely. This took a while to do again because they're so accurate and the door is so slow. But there's a guy in here who likes to drop out of the vent, and at this point, guys, almost everything you face is going to be enhanced. Like, there are so many enhanced necromorphs and your ammunition just goes down so quickly. So I'm going to take a lot of legs, I'm going to try and run around a lot of people. This is that room where I got that fail video as well because I was trying to save ammunition. So if you remember in here, I was throwing a box at somebody, and then he whacked me in the knee. That was the guy who I just took the leg of just then. That was the person who did it, if you're wondering. And then again, we have more children in here from the Guardian, and I'm just going to use the environment to try and kill them, but the damage sometimes is spotty. And there's a lot of them shooting at me. I need to find something that's better than this. The bins are really good at this as well, but that one doesn't move for some reason. But this is really where the run just... There are some fights coming up that are so silly. As we're getting the lecture here from the unitology man. But I don't really agree with this creature. I think you should just be able to go up to it and punt it. Because it's just so stupid. I can understand... Like, if you don't do it right, they maybe blow up and they kill you. Like, I'd rather have that monster kill you instantly than be such a fucking pointless nuisance. And I don't know about you guys, but it always struck me as the kind of creature that should have crawled. I feel like that creature should have, like, wiggled towards you, like the babies do in the sequel. But this has transitioned into the hunter sequence with the beds. This is a moment that a lot of people... struggled with at launch. I remember that. I remember a lot of like game facts talking about this area. Because the hunter chases you, and in this middle area here, you're absolutely safe. There's no vents for them to come down in, so there's nothing they can do. But the problem with the game on this moment is the detection on the telekinesis is really fiddly. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to try and get the hunter in here. I wanted to try and get him in here, and I wanted to shoot his leg, and then I wanted to trap him in here to see if he would be present on the next sequence. And he didn't want to come in. And I didn't try too long because I wasn't that bothered. But I thought he would have been able to come in here, and then he ended up stopping me from getting out by standing directly in front of me. And because I didn't want to shoot him and waste ammunition, it led to this moment of me trying to pick up that semiconductor, and he keeps on picking up this bunk. I was getting really mad at this as well. It was doing my fucking head in. And this sequence is super intimidating, but you can cheese it if you want to. And I'm not going to cheese it, but I am going to cheese it. One of the cheeses, you can come back to this room and wait it out. That's very effective. The other cheese is if you just circle this room, all you have to contend with is getting unluckily shot at by the lurker that's in this room. So there are the hunters in here, there is a black lurker, and there is a black enhanced slasher. And if you use the camera correctly and you circle this room the right way, you won't have too much of an issue with anybody. But you need to be quick, because if they attack you, you have to stun them. And all I'm going to do is run in a circle for about 2 minutes, or however long this lasts. And the music's going to go crazy, but you're not in any danger. The only danger right now is if the lurker's in front of you and he gets a chance to shoot, because he likes to do that. And I got hit here once trying to record this, but other than that, it went really smooth. Because the hunter is too honest, he's trying to catch you, and he can't catch you on this particular loop. The problem arises when you have to hit the door. The doors open so slowly that sometimes you'll get caught. But as long as you keep them off camera and you keep circling... That was it then. See that? That's the risk. Right there. He's the only threat in this room. And if it was just the hunter, you could use the table to knock him down repeatedly, but it's not. You're waiting on a conversation here, guys, as well. When that woman turns up, Kendra, and she says... Oh, I've opened the door, Isaac, that's when you can start to leave. But the next room, if you hit the safe point in there, be really careful, because the hunter can come through a vent and kill you. I actually stopped in that room to stop the recording, to start a new one, and he killed me. But there is a checkpoint. So now she says that, we can start hitting the exit. And I'm going to do it on this rotation right here. And then hopefully you don't get whacked. But do not mess around in that room. That room right there, that'll get you killed. And this room has infectors. So again, guys, you can, if you want to, move the bodies in this room and stop the infector from being able to do anything. Or you can have a fight with him like I just did. And it seems like people really like to set these fights up so the infector can't do much. But because I wanted the footage to be a bit more exciting in this run, there's only a few areas where I even mess with the bodies at all. For the most, I just fight them. And if they make more, they make more. And speaking of more, this is a rare moment where you have 3 pregnant enemies in one room, and the pregnant enemy is actually quite a bastard when he wants to be. So be careful with that guy. You have to go back through that room as well, so leaving them alive like I just did, it helps on ammunition, but it doesn't help when you have to come back through. And then we have this. This is the dumbest part of the run you will ever see, guys. So I took every single piece of furniture and I blocked the vent this guy wants to go in. See that? And he can't get in now. And what happens is, he's so fixated on going in that vent that he never gets to do it, and it doesn't spawn the twitchers in the correct order. So when you come out here, when the hunter comes along, I can cap the hunter's knee, go back in the room and kill him, and I will not get assailed by the endless amount of twitchers. Because on this moment you fight 5 or 6 of them, and they come in multiples later on, and it's very problematic when you don't have any ammo. But if you do what I do, he never goes in the vent, he never triggers the next sequence, and you never get mobbed. And additionally, you don't need to cap the hunter's ankle. You can hit him once and get out of that room, and this will go quicker and it will be even faster. And I'm going to leave the footage in here, guys, because you can actually get attacked while this conversation is happening, but it never happens because of how I've manipulated the spawn here. So this kills the hunter. And then right now, another twitcher's there. Do you see him? So there's another twitcher. That one goes in the vent, and they should be landing in this room, but they never do. They never come in this room. If you watch other people's runs, they come in this room even right now and start attacking them. That manipulation of the AI is so strong, it breaks the scripting. And I'm really glad it did, because I was trying to do this without it, and it was hard as fuck.
There's still time to make things right.
Because what you can do is you can stand still and the hunter never spawns, but the twitchers do. 1 drops in, kill him. 1 drops in, kill him. 1 drops in, kill him. 2 drop in, get hit. That's what happened all the time. And then if you go outside with the hunter while they're spawning, they're coming out of the grates, they're coming out all around you, the whole fight's a nightmare. And it's a nightmare because you can't just kill them. I didn't have the ammo right now to just kill them, so I had to get creative. And because I've played these games a lot, in Dead Space 2 there was an area where you could do the very thing I just did. And I thought, maybe it'll work, you know, there's a lot of shit in this room, let's block that vent, see what we can do. And alas, a beautiful strategy. But be warned, guys, sometimes the physics will make it so that when he hits the boxes, he knocks them out of the way and he gets in the vent anyway. So there's a little bit of luck involved here. A little bit of luck, a lot of bullshit, and just what an absurd fight. And just a show of hands, guys, has anybody seen that done before? Have you seen that done? Have you done that yourself? Because I checked a lot of the other no damage runs on YouTube to see what people were doing in this fight when I was having a tough time with it, and nobody did it like this. But I haven't seen every video on the internet, so you never know. I was so happy when I found that strategy, though. You have no idea how long it took to get everything on that door. Because this room is really big and there's lots of shit in it, and I had to carry it slowly all around the room. It was really funny. And then I'm going to use some sofas to take out these fatties, and then we're going to get on with it. But what a game, right? What a game. Imagine allowing a player to use physics and collision to completely stop an enemy from being a problem. If that is not genius, I don't know what is. And then we have another infector here just chilling out. I have no idea what this guy's doing. I mean, I know what he's doing now. And he's dying. And they're dropping me ammunition for a gun I don't have, which is really kind when I have no bullets. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying the project, and you take care now.